niya dito ng drag. Okay? So, that is the position of the lift and drag. Okay? Lift and drag. Okay? So, sa lift and drag ngayon, let's say, iyan yung direction niya, no? What happened now is that you have the center of gravity here. Okay? CG. This is CP. Okay? Para ma-discuss natin to, yung acceleration kasi sinabi niya rito. And of course, dito ngayon, kapag ito, meron kang drag rito, pagka ito nag-lift, umakyat yung aircraft, mararamdaman mo yan, di ba? Kahit enclosed yung sasakyan, pag yung sasakyan nag-move, nakasara siya, hindi mo makita labas, mararamdaman mo na nag-move. Mararamdaman mo rin na umatras, no? And that is what you call inertia force. And this force is of course your inertia force. I yan, I. Okay? Then this is your CG, okay, center of pressure. This is your center of gravity. So, sa center of gravity, dyan nagko-concentrate ngayon yung weight. Okay? Nariyan yung weights ng aircraft. Okay? Then, of course, kapag umakyat yung aeroplano, no, because of the acceleration, ito yung acceleration niya, okay, nag-accelerate yan, umakyat yan, what will happen now is that maramdaman mo na umaakyat because of the inertial load. Ito yung inertial load mo. Okay? Inertia load or inertia force due to lift. Okay? But the inertia force due to lift will not be coming from the center of pressure. It will be coming from the center of gravity. Okay? Now, yan, no? Katulad nga, kunyari, ano bang example dito? Kunyari, nakaupo. Okay? Nakaupo ka. Then, of course, hinatak to. Hinatak. The center of gravity of the chair is not the same as your center of gravity. Although, nakaupo ka rin. Pag hinatak to, laglag ka. Natural, di ba? Pero, kung center of gravity mo is the same with the, with the chair, na hindi naman pwede, so you will be carried alone, di ba? Mahata ka niya, sasama ka. Kaya siyempre, to avoid that na mag-flip ka, hinatak to, nag-flip ka roon because the force is, of course, action-reaction yan. Si Newton na naman yung pumasok. Action-reaction. Okay? So, pagka hinatak to, tumbling ka rin sa kabila. Okay? Pag ito, biglang maandar, biglang huminto, subsub ka naman rito. And that is also inertia load. Okay? So, kung may drag siya, meron ka rin dito sa CG na inertia due to drag. Okay? Inertia due to drag. And inertia due to drag is of course, yung drag natin dito is the total drag. Okay? So, yung L natin or the inertia, okay, is equivalent to force, which is equivalent to, according to Newton, mass times acceleration. Yung mass na to is, of course, W weight over G. Okay? And you have now your acceleration. Okay? So, yan. So, very important itong weight ng aircraft. Okay? So, pagka weight, siyempre pagka nag-accelerate ka, alam mo kung ilan G yan. Let's say this is nag-accelerate ka na 3 times G. 3 times the gravity, no? So, siyempre, substitute mo yan diyan, magiging W over G times 3G. 3G. Okay? 3G, sorry. So, cancel yan. Okay? This is now your inertia load. This is now your inertia load sa center of gravity. Center of gravity. So, dito yan, sa center of gravity, ito yan, parallel sa drag. Yan ngayon yung inertia. Okay? At CG. Actually, pwede mo gawin niya inertia at mass times acceleration. Okay? So, the weight plays a major part, no, in your inertial load. No? Now, kung payat ka, no, ito yung nga upuan, nakapatong ka, payat ka, no, pag inatak to, may inertial load ka rin, gaganon ka, no? Mahulog ka kasi hindi ka naman naka-seatbelt, no? So, yan yung inertial force mo. Pero, kapag malaki ka, malaki, pag inatak yan, so yung inertial load mo, mas malaki, di ba? Kasi it's a function of weight, di ba? So, kung nakapatong ka naman rito, medyo maliit ka lang, bigla siyang huminto, diyan ka lang, lalaglag. Okay? Pagka malaki ka, biglang huminto, hindi ka naka-harness, so what happened, mas malakas yung force mo, dito ka gugulong, papunta ka ron. Okay? So, yun, not inertial load. Okay? Now, the tanong is that it is being felt by the aircraft. Diba? Nararamdaman ng aircraft yan, yung inertial load na yan. Wala pang tao to, walang tao to, walang laman na tao. Okay? Now, the performance of aircraft also based on the structure of, di ba, na-discuss yan, no? Based on the performance is also based on the structural component of the aircraft. Kung kaya niyang i-withstand yung inertia. Kasi ito hindi naman to gugulong hindi naman to susubsob. Di ba? But still the structure is there, no? Intact yan. Kaya hindi katulad ng tao nakapatong sa upuan, natatambling siya pa-forward or pa-atras, di ba? Ito, hindi. But of course, there are stresses inside, no? So meaning, the performance of the aircraft will depend also on the ability of the structure to counteract any maneuver, no? And any movement of the control surface of the airplane. Okay? So yun, that is why last time, kung kailan yung time na yun, di ba? Pero na-discuss yan na contributor rin sa performance ng airplane is its structure. Now, paano ka magkakaroon ng performance kung bumigay ang structure mo, di ba? Nasira. Now, tanong, sir, paano ba sisira yan? Siyempre, meron tayong plate envelope. Makikita rin kung doon ka, kung ano yung load factor mo, ibig sabihin, load factor is equals to lift over weight, di ba? Kung gaano kataas yung load factor mo, meron tayo niyan sa BN diagram. Di ba? Yung BN diagram natin. So, we have load factor versus velocity. Right? So, yan. So, lilipad ka ngayon dito. Kasi pagka lumabas ka riyan, may problema ka, structural damage ka, or mag-stall lang air. Okay lang kung stall. Pero pagka, bakit ka mag-stall? Mabagal ka Mabagal ka. Okay, dito ka lang mag-stall. Paano ka magkakaroon ng structural damage? Kasi, mataas yung loading mo, mabilis pa yung aeroplano. So, labas ka rito, so structural damage. Labas ka sa baba, structural. Labas ka rito, structural damage. So, after this, ito kasi yung maneuvering speed mo After the maneuvering speed, okay, A yan Kala mo A Maneuvering speed is A, no? Corner speed yan. Yan yung pagka sinabi ng piloto, corner speed, maneuvering speed yan. Okay? Yung mga terminology, pag sinabi niya, we will decelerate now, we will decelerate to our corner speed. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung corner speed, nakikita napipicture nung piloto yung flight envelope niya. Okay? Kasi siyempre, di ba, pagka technical ka, hindi naman yung words yung nakikita mo Nakikita mo yung diagram. Tingnan nyo. Diagram na nakikita mo. Hindi mo nakikita yung hindi mo nakikita yung letters, no? Nakikita mo yung diagram. And pumapasok sa isip mo is the how you will use the diagram, di ba? Papasok. Okay? So, take note ngayon, AI na. So, may kita mo ngayon, that is also the way how the computer is functioning. So, nakikita niya rin yung data, meron siyang data, meron siyang diagram, yung data na yan, pumapasok yan doon. Then, pagka lumabas siya, mamalfunction siya, no? So that is why, sinabi ko sa inyo, yung grounding, it is because of the sudden movement of the elevator. Yun yung pagkakasabi. But of course, it will not stop there because they are already looking out on other parts kasi nagmalfunction. There is a possibility, hindi pa naman nagmalfunction, nagbigay lang ng symptoms, no? So there is a possibility na other parts will also follow, no? Kaya ngayon, although they give already a go signal to to use the aircraft, no, they are still looking on others, no. That is what you call preventive actions, no. Preventive actions, diba? Yung compliance, may compliance na. Meron na preventive. So, ibig sabihin, preventive meaning, it will not recur. It will not happen again. But of course, it will not happen again, but it will happen on the other component. Maybe. Di ba? So, ganun ka-safe yung ganun ka-safe yung aircraft, no? Sabi sa inyo, mataas yung safety natin, saka yung reliability engineering. Okay, so thrust decreases while drag increases during takeoff. Acceleration during takeoff is not constant and actually decreases. As speed increases, the excess thrust, so alam na excess thrust, that is power available minus power required. And acceleration reduces. So this is now your factors affecting takeoff distance required, no? Take-off distance required. So, pagka tumakbo yan, you're picking up speed. As I've said, medyo, kasi tayo, medyo, makukuha natin pero kulang, no? So, meron kang B1, B2, and of course, BR. Last time, ipinakita na to. B1. Then, this is your rotational speed. Then, rotational speed, lift-off speed, kasunod, lift-off. So, ibig sabihin, aakyat na yung gulong from the ground, no? So, pag tumakbo yung aircraft, no? Pag tumakbo yung aircraft, ito siya. This is now the total drag. So, pagka tumakbo yan, ito ngayon yung wheel drag. Okay? So, from this point, okay, sa 0, bumibili siya, what will happen? Yung wheel drag, bumababa. Okay? Yan yung wheel drag. Okay? So, bumababa. Then, we have the total drag. Ito yung total drag na. Okay? Total drag, ito. Then, of course, since tumakbo ka, meron kang aerodynamic drag ngayon. Then, afterwards, you have now the excess thrust accelerating force. Dito, sa excess thrust dito is, of course, the power available minus power required. What is the power required? Is, of course, specific sa altitude. Lagyan natin pataas, no? So, magkakaroon ka ng power required upon increasing your altitude. Okay, wait pa. So, okay, yun. So, what are the factors affecting the takeoff distance required? No? So, first is the airplane mass. So, mass talks about the mass kasi is equivalent to weight over gravity, di ba? Weight over gravity yan, pagka-mass. Okay? So, aerodynamic pressure altitude. So, of course, umakyat yung altitude mo. Ito. So, umakyat ka. So, what will happen? There is a change in pressure altitude. There is also a change in temperature. Of course, the wind direction. The aircraft will always take off opposite the direction of the wind. No? So ito yan, laging nakaharap yan sa hangin. Ha? Nakaharap yan sa hangin. Also, during landing, nakaharap yan sa hangin. Okay, hindi yan pwedeng tumalikod. Kasi pag tumalikod yan, during take-off, ang haba ng tatakboy niyan, lalampas siya sa take-off distance required. So usually, salubong yan. Okay, nagsasalubong. Masalubong pala. So katulad dito sa runway dito, ito yan. Ito yung runway natin, 0624 yan. 0624. 24. So, ibig sabihin, kung ito yung runway mo, 0624, ito, ano to, dagat, no? Dagat. Water. Water na lang. Water. Water yan. Cavite to eh, Cavite. Tapos, ito ngayon dito, BGC. BCG. Yan. BGC. Hindi yung contractor sa sa flood control. Yan. So, kapag yung hangin papunta rito, may kita mo, lalanding ka, ilalim, tubig. Okay? Kapag yung hangin, narito, lalanding ka sa BGC, guys. So, puro building to. Puro building, no? Diyan kang ililipat sa ibabaw niya, palanding, okay? Because it will fly against the wind. Now, tanong, paano ba dinidesign yung runway? Unang-una, dinidesign yung runway, kukunin mo yung wind rose. Wind rose. Okay? Ito yan. Pero this is relevant also, no? Kasi ito yung wind rose. Okay? So, you have the wind. Pag ganun yan. So, this is north-south. North-south, east-west. Tama ba? East-west. Okay. This is for the whole year. You will determine the direction of Pagka pumunta siya, there is a possibility na. Okay. Ipinaplat yan. Pinaplat. Okay. Then, afterwards, yan yung natawag na windrose. Windrose. Ito. Dito pala. Okay. So, may kita mo, windrose na hogran. May kita mo, ito yung pinakamalakas na hangin. So, yung runway mo, papunta rito. Yan. Diyan mo i-design yung runway mo. Okay. Kasi, for the whole year, yung pinakamalakas na hangin dito, then these others now is what you call crosswind. Crosswind na lang yan. Mahina yan. Ang gusto mo, dito mo gawin yung if time comes na ito yung nag-prevail, yung hangin na to, ang lakas ng crosswind mo rin. Diba? Ang lakas ng crosswind. Kasi hindi mo na pwede madiktahan to kung saan lang siya dadaan diba? So yan, this is the wind rose, no? Actually, before you construct a runway, kukunin mo muna yung data siyempre, kukunin mo sa Pag-asa. Pag-asa. Sa Pag-asa, lagi may Pag-asa yan. Pag-asa, no? Because they know the direction of the wind for the whole year. Okay? Then, of course, malalaman pa nila yung yung wind velocity. So, yan. Then you will construct your Kasi hindi pwede, basta ka nagtatayo lang yan, no? Ialamin mo rin niya kung Kaya baka pag natayo mo yan, puro crosswind, no? Ang lalakas, di ba? Dito ngayon, pag ito, malakas yung hangin, ay pabor yan, no? Sasalubungin lang ng aeroplano yan, kahit especially yung jet. Okay, para the more the air velocity passing through the jet engine, mas gusto ng makina yon. Kasi, di ba sabi ko, yung harap ng engine, compressor Di ba? Compressor is to compress air. Paano yan kung lakas ng hangin? O din lakas ng compression, di ba? Ang lakas ng compression. So, yung delivery ng power niya at saka ng thrust, ang taas. Yung delivery ng thrust, mataas. Okay? So, kung mataas siya, you don't need to put power kasi the compression will handle the aircraft or the aircraft to produce higher thrust. Okay? So, yun. Ganyan mga riyan. Hawak ng discussion no? Kaya pati runway. Pinakailaman. Okay. So, we have here the climb. Okay. So, based on this, kabisaluhin lang yan, yung figure na yan, then you can, of course, get the unknown, no? So, we have here grade gradient of climb, no? So, gradient, no? So, parang kasi thrust minus drag, thrust is equivalent to pounds over pounds is equals to gradient. Okay? So, this is an excess thrust. So, magka-cancel yung magka-cancel. So, what will happen? This is a gradient, no? Gradient lang yan. But, if you know the velocity and you multiply this by velocity, that will become your power available. Okay? Pag ito, minultiply mo ng velocity, that will become your power required. Then, i-divide mo ito rito ng W, put there the W, and this will now be your rate of climb. So, ito, yung ano nito is horsepower. Okay, magiging horsepower yan kasi that is thrust times velocity. So, times thrust velocity, magiging ito pounds foot per second, right? Then over pounds. Then, of course, you have to multiply by to get feet per second. Yan, lumabas na over pounds. Ito na pala, cancel na. Okay, so what will remain is feet per second. And this is your rate of climb. Pag gradient, huwag mo i-multiply ng velocity. Okay? Now, kung ito, thrust minus drag is equivalent to weight, that is climbing. This is also what we call load factor. Because load factor is equivalent to lift over weight, right? If you are getting this one, okay, papunta sa taas, load factor mo pataas, how about kung papunta roon? Kung papunta roon, may load factor niya, let's say this is X, this is say. So ito, load factor at say, ano nga yung load factor as X mo dito? Load factor mo sa X, yung forward load factor mo. Di ba may load factor tayo sa sa flight envelope, di ba? So meron rin yan dito along the thrust line. So load factor X mo, siyempre, thrust minus drag over W. So the gradient itself is what you call the load factor at the thrust line. So, yan. Yung mga tanong sa board, no? Kasi nire-recall ko lang yan. Pag sinabi niya, ano yung gradient, no? Solve for the gradient of climb. Hinahanap niya rin is load factor sa thrust line. So, siyempre, titirahin mo siya ng formula na yan. Thrust minus drag over W. So, yan. Kung gagawa ko ng question rin tumakan. Paspasa natin. Okay. Then we have here the rate of climb. Okay. So we have here the original true airspeed. Okay. True airspeed doubled. Then we have rate of climb doubles. Okay. So bumibilis. So angle of climb times true airspeed. That is the rate of climb. Okay. Then of course, angle of climb. Wala yung di ba? Dito yan, no? Ito yan, no? Then, of course, rate of climb power available minus power required over W. Then, of course, power available minus power required is power excess. What is for turbojet? Meron yung power available yung turbojet. Ito, constant yan. No? As you increase the airspeed, the power required is also increasing. Okay? I mean the power available increasing. Okay. Then, of course, this is now your power required. Ito yung power required natin. Umakyat. So, this is now the vertical speed. Ito. Kung ano yung pinakamalawak, ito yung pinakamalawak. No? Pinakamalayong distance, no? Na binigay. That is now your BY. no, for the jet. Vy is the vertical velocity. So vertical velocity is your, siyempre, rate of climb yan. Rate of climb. Okay. So this is for a turbojet. Okay. So jet yan. And sabi nga rito, Vy, speed where there is a minimum power excess. Almost close to minimum drag speed. Okay? Then of course, with the approximate angle of attack of 4 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, yung climb mo laging reference 4 degrees ka. Either be turbojet and propeller airplane. Tanong, siyempre tatanong, bakit seryoso sa Dubai yung 777 di ba? Pag take off, gumanon. Kasi, ano yun, demonstration flight yun. Walang tao yun, natural. Ay, hindi, may tao, pero piloto lang. Sa co-pilot. Hindi yan maraming pasero sakay, no? Pakita lang yun, nakakayanin, di ba? Even yung C-130 nga, di ba? Nag-loop. Walang karga yan, siyempre. Pagka nang may mga fully, fully loaded yan, hindi niya kakayanin yun. But of course, that is only for demonstration flight. So, yung 777, tapos sumunod yung 350, di ba? Puro pag-angat, nag-vertical. So, kayang-kaya ng pag vertical ganon, gumanon. Okay? Kita mo halos suminto Gumanon, no? So, ganun katindi. Now, what is the power for a propeller? Ito nga yung power ng propeller. Habang bumibilis yung airspeed mo, lumalaglag yung power available. Dito, tumataas sa jet. Dito, bumababa. Then, magsasalubong yan. Yan, magsasalubong sila. Okay. Then, of course, makita mo rito zero, di ba? Zero, yung difference between the, the power available and power required, nag-zero. Ito, ipoproject mo lang yan. Ipoproject mo lang yan. Sa design, di pinaproject lang. Ito nga, ilalaglag mo rito. Siyempre, mababasa mo yung airspeed niya riyan. Yan yung stalling speed, ES. Kapag dito ka, ito ngayon yung Vmax. For an aircraft, Vmax. So that is the maximum airspeed na ibibigay ng aeroplano. Now ito, magmula rito, lagyan mo ng diretso riyan, then kunin mo yung midpoint niya, midpoint. So, yan. Tingnan natin yung sukat. Ito yung midpoint. Siguro ito yung midpoint. Huwag natin kasi magpapatong. So, ibaba mo yan riyan. Basahin mo to. This is now your BCR or cruising speed. Okay? So, yan. Then, of course, yung absolute ceiling may natural, pagka nag-zero na yung rate of climb mo, ito, yan is-zero, so doon mo makikita yung absolute ceiling. Sa service ceiling, ito yan. Pagka jet, 500 feet per minute para bago mo ma-realize yung service ceiling. Sa propeller, 100 feet per minute. So, habang umakit siya, 1,000, tapos pag-abot niya, 100 feet, level up na yan. So, that is the service ceiling for a propeller. Yung jet, ang taas pa niyan. Dito pa yung 500 feet per minute niya. Kaya dito siya lilipad. So, there is no way that the a propeller and a jet will collide. As I've said again, it collide during takeoff and landing only. Okay, kasi doon sila nagkukumpulan sa baba. Okay, pero during flight, bihira yan. Okay. So, we have here your CG, yan. Okay, thrust, and of course, the weight, and of course, this one. So, kanina, naibigay na sa iyo kung anong inertia. Okay. So, we have the inertia, we have the... So, all the inertia force will, of course, concentrate on the center of gravity. Dito, nilevel up lang yan. Pinarehas, Pinarehas yung lift. Yung CP nasa axis ng thrust line. For simple illustration. Pero pwede yan na wala. Pag yung CG mo narito, yung CP mo narito, okay? Then of course, narito yung thrust line mo, what will happen is that magro-rotate yung aircraft papunta ron. So, magro-rotate. Dito ngayon, hindi masyado. Okay, but of course, with this one, makikita mo, this will produce a moment going there. No? This is the moment due to the lift and drag. And of course, we have here another moment which is based on the inertia force due to thrust and inertia force due to drag. Kaya lang magkalapat sila eh. So ipagpatong na lang natin yung arrow. Okay? So this is also an indicator of the performance of the aircraft. So the position of the center of pressure at saka set position at center of gravity. Now take note yung rocket na ipinakita ko, di ba? Yan din. Center of pressure at saka center of gravity. It is the location that will determine if the vehicle or the aircraft is stable. Makita pati pasweldo ito natin. Okay. So, yun. Then, okay. So, this is now another one. So, take note. Ito pala mirror. So, we have the CG and the CP. So, it will happen. It will rotate down. Okay. Nag-rotate siya because of the position of the lift and position of the CG. Okay. Now, of course, what will happen now? Pagka pumunta siya riyan, the tendency is to nose down. Ika-counteract yan ng downward force na ipoproduce nitong elevator. Elevator to So mag-nose down siya. Ito yung ginawa ng aircraft nung JetBlue, di ba? Palanding na siya. Okay, so nag-flare. Ito pa yan. Pag lalanding kasi naka-flare yan. Naka-flare. So ibig sabihin, palalandingin mo yung dalawa mo ng gulong din sa main gear. Kaya lang, nung malapit na siya, biglang ganun. Nag-nose down. Okay. Nag-nose down siya, then nag-nose up, then so, kakaiba, di ba? So, doon nakita na may problema sa software. Kita mo, lalanding ka computer yung gumagana, di ba? So, two types of specific range. So, we have specific A range, no? And we have also a specific ground range, no? SGR. The difference is due to wind strength and direction. If wind is to be considered, no, specific range is SGR. Now, take note, yung aircraft selection ngayon is also considered yung range. Hinahanap niya na yung range. Katulad yung yung from here to Dubai, di ba? 8,000 nautical miles siya. 8,000 nautical miles. And of course, kapag gumamit siya ng winglet o kaya gumamit siya ng mga controls, no? Pwedeng lumayo pa siya, lumampas pa siya. Okay? So pwede pa siya lumabas sa 8,000 nautical miles. Because of the savings of fuel, pwede pa siya. Pero, pero kung lipad mo is, yun lang, yung 8,000 lang yung na-approve siya na liparan mo, hindi ka na pwedeng lumipad sa susunod. Okay? Kasi you need to, sa freedom of the air, hindi ka basta-basta lilipad sa susunod. The next country, hindi pa pwede. No? So, ano tawag ron? Extended operation. Yeah, extended operation, tatanda ko. Extended operation. And extended operation of the aircraft, now based on the range, needs a approval. So, ang bigat, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka basta-basta lalayo kapag yun lang yung specific range ng aircraft. So, it needs of course, it needs an approval also with the manufacturer. Okay? extended, ETOP yun eh, ETOP, extended, basta, ETOP yun, no? Extended operation, tawag ron. Okay, we have the difference due to wind, strength, and direction. If wind is to be considered, specific range is the ground range. Okay. So that is nautical per kilogram or specific range is through airspeed over fuel flow. Now, dito ngayon, kapag magta-travel ka abroad, makikita mo, especially kung long-haul flight, kasi ngayon, diretso na eh. Electronics na ngayon yung ticketing, di ba? Pero nung araw, nakalagay kung ilang nautical miles yung nakalagay and may kwenta, no? Kung ilan yung nautical, because the bayad, no, is based on the distance to be traveled, no? So, nakalagay. Specific. Ngayon, wala na eh. Wala na ganon. Basta, ipapakita na sa'yo kung magkano babayaran mo. And of course, ngayon, hindi na ganon. Kasi ngayon, meron tinatawag na peak season. Pagka peak season ka, bago mag-peak season, bumili ka na ng ticket. Kasi pagka bumili ka ng ticket, during that time, no? Meron that time, mahal na. Hindi yan katulad sa jeep, di ba? Problema lang sa jeep, hindi nagsusuklay, di ba? So, sa aircraft, gano'n, nagbabago. And of course, the time ng reservation mo. Okay, kasi may pinapunta ako doon, kausap ko sa yung balikan ko, magkano ba yung punta akong Davao noon, 6,000 parang ang balikan. Yung kausap ko rin, sabi ko, sumunod ka. He needs to follow me at the same day, no? So, binili ko ng ticket, 8,000 one way, grabe. Davao to Manila, 8,000. Grabe rin, Okay, kasi una-una, na yun? Rush na yung But of course, that is a chance passenger, pero ang mahal, di ba? Kailangan ko siya na makarating na Maynila. So, mas mahal pa sa travel ko pupunta ron. Kaya sabi ko, bayaran ko na 8,000. Kasi pag hindi ko ginawa 8,000 yun, kinabukasan pa siya lumipad, mag-hotel yun. Pagka nag-hotel yun, ay mas mahal, di ba? So, sabi ko, sige, travel ka. Yung naman kasi lang eh, screenshot eh. Pwede na. Screenshot mo yung ticket. Biglang makarating na. So, specific rates for turbojet. So, that is the specific rates through airspeed over specific fuel consumption to specific fuel consumption over thrust required times thrust required. Okay? Specific rates for propeller, ito siya. The same halos, no? Through airspeed over specific fuel consumption of the engine times power required. Okay. Then we have here your landing, no? So this is the airborne section and touchdown. So you can see that, of course, dito, but clear niya rito sa takeoff. Sa takeoff is 35, sa landing is 50 feet. Screen. Yan, no? Di ba sinabi ko before is 35, but 35 is sa takeoff. Dito yan. 35 yun dito. Pagka magte-takeoff ka. Okay, 35. Pero pag landing, i-clear mo yan, ground na yan, bago po, ito yung threshold eh, threshold. Bago ka pumasok riyan, dapat at least 50. Take note also, pag-jet, di ba? Pag umabot na siya riyan, di ba, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, hit na yung ground, di ba? Yung counting, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, pag pumasok ka na roon, magbibilang na yung eroplano. Sasabi niya, audio, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, mamaya, vlog. Tuwama na yung gulong, di ba? So, yung nag-a-announce yun, hindi piloto, yung system. Kita nyo kalupit, no? Kasi meron niya tinatawag rito localizer. Ito, yung dito, localizer, nakagitna yan. Yan, gitna. Okay? Then, meron kang instrument landing system, meron kang BOR, lahat, maraming instrument yan na nakatutok sa aircraft. Nakasensor, ang dami niyan. Okay? Kaya yan lalanding mag-isa riyan. Okay? I-inform na lang ng aircraft kung anong altitude ba nila sa surface. Yan. Okay? So, kita nyo. And the tanong, sir, yung landing ba sa umaga is the same as landing sa gabi? Actually, sa gabi kasi, gagamit ka ng navigational light. And that will be charged sa aircraft. Pag lumipad ka sa gabi, ang daming navigation na ibibigay sa iyo para ka makalanding. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, marami kang babayaran. Okay? Pagka maaga, hindi pa pwede. Kasi kung clear sky yan, kahit walang ilaw yung runway, lalanding ka eh. Lalanding at lalanding ka. Makukuha mo yung ano. Okay? Localizer naman para tumama ka sa gitna nitong broken line na yan. No? Okay? Kasi pagka sa highway yan, keep right ka, di ba? So ito hindi. Nasa gitna mo dapat yan. Nasa gitna ng eroplano yung guhit niya. Okay. So landing distance varies due to the following factors: airfield condition, airplane weight, reverse thrust, and braking system. Okay, so these are the landing distance requirements. So braking system, sama-sama together na. We have the flaps, we have the air brake, okay? And so on. No? Braking, sa ano lang yan. Braking sa tire. Okay? Yung reverse thrust, of course, kasama yung flaps rito at saka yung brake sa flaps, no? Kasama riyan. Reverse thrust, engine yan. Engine. Okay? Sa engine kasi, ganito yung engine, ha? Yan. Okay? Ito, meron to rito nakaganyan. And this will move. Pag move yan dito, pag nag-move yan dito, yan siya, oh. Clamshell lang yan, no? So, clamshell, no? So, ibig sabihin, hindi lalabas rito yung hangin sa dito. Meron niya ditong bakante, saka bakante. So, dito madadivert yung flow ng air. Mawawala dito. Mawawala rin yan. So, dito yan. So, that is what you call reverse thrust. Okay, i-reverse thrust yan. Sumasara yan sa likod. Sumasara. Parang clamp. Okay, gumagana. Sasara siya. So, pagka nagsara siya ngayon, saan pupunta yung hangin na dito, sisingaw yan dito at saka doon sa baba. Okay. So, yan. So, what else? So, we have here the thunderstorm, no? Pagka sa thunderstorm, ganito, of course, pumasok ka sa thunderstorm, yan, mga simple ano lang ha. Nahirapan ako maganap. Okay. Thunderstorm, okay, pasok ka riyan, so bumagsak yung ulan, so what will happen? You will be pushed downward. Kasi laking tubig yan, no? Then you will hit, no? Without reaching the runway. Okay? So, yan yung problema. Pag ikaw naman, nakalusot ka rito, then nagkaroon siya ng thunderstorm. Ito yung outburst eh. Thunderstorm. This is an outburst na tawag dito. Dito ka naman napunta, narito ka na. So what will happen? Itinula ka itong movement na to. What will happen? Lampas ka naman sa runway. So the climate, no, or the weather will also dictate. No? So you need a lot of braking system dito. Okay. Okay, so yan. So usually nangyayari to sa dulo ng runway. Yeah, sa dulo ng runway yan. Okay. So sa dulo ng runway, siyempre, pag nakita mo madilim, pagka tumake off ka kasi madilim yan, pag take off mo yan, nare siya, sasalubong, biglang bumuhos. Usually pag bumuhos yan, laglag ka. Especially pagka maliit kang aeroplano. So pagka may heavy clouds, no? Usually, it's depend upon the air traffic controller kung pala take offing ka, no? Or, siyempre, sa'yo rin yan kung ayaw mo na, no? So, yeah. Kasi may kakilala ko noon na lumipad sila, bumagsak sa village, no? Sa subdivision doon sa dulo ng runway 1331. Okay? So, doon bumagsak. Sa bahay, bumagsak. Okay? Sa isang bahay. Subdivision. Okay? So, yan. Ito, outburst ito, nakita to ng ano, nakalimutan ko ng pangalan pero hapon, ginagano ito. Kasi nangyari to, ang nangyari to, then of course, tinignan niya ngayon yung posisyon ng mga damo dito. Okay, may nangyari yan. Tinignan niya yung posisyon ng damo via, siyempre pagkatapos, by chopper, nakita niya na yung dapo nakaganon lahat. So, doon bumagsak yun. Ibig sabihin, the flow of air, pag ganun. Okay, pag ganun. So, nakita niya yung mga laman, nagdapaan, palabas. Okay? So, isang angle lang to siyempre bilog yan. Dito ka, ganyan rin itsura. Doon ka, ganyan rin itsura. Dito. Pare-parehas. Okay. So, what now for vertical, no? Yan yung sa side. Okay, say ko kanina. Ito ngayon yung vertical. So, dito yung buga mo. Okay? So, makikita mo all the direction of the outburst, no? Pupunta sa labas lahat. Pupunta sa labas. So, it depends. Pagka parating ka rito, o kaya dito ka, okay. So, this will happen. Okay? This will happen. So, matik yan, nagkokontrol niya nito. So, that is elevator. Okay? And of course, your aileron. Okay? So, pagka tinamaan niya, the tendency is to rotate. Pagka tinamaan ka rito, the tendency is you will be pushed. So, the aircraft will, of course, use this one. Okay? Then, go back to the original position. Okay? So, dito ngayon, what will happen? Ito pa pala. This is now your indicated airspeed. Alam naman natin indicated airspeed. Sa instrument yan, di ba? Instrument. Yung instrument natin, may P2 tube yan. Okay? Ito siya. Then, of course, ito yung P2 tube. Then, the hangin will go inside, no? And there will be a calculation of the pressure difference between the static and the ram pressure. Okay? So dito ngayon, since lumilipad ka, then ang lakas ng hangin na pupunta rito, ang lakas ng hangin na tatama sa rito. So what will happen is that sa indicator mo, sa airspeed indicator mo, ang taas nung ibibigay niyang airspeed. Okay? Kasi nagkaroon ka ng hangin na malakas dito. So, although mabagal ka in real sense, no? What happened is that makikita mo sa indicated airspeed mo sa instrument na ang bilis mo during approach landing, assuming na approach sa landing ka. So, what will you do is that you will decrease your power. So, pagka nag-decrease ng power, babagsak yung thrust mo, babagal yung aircraft. Pero, sa totoo lang, mabagal ka. Mabilis lang airspeed mo because of the wind na tumatama sa P2 tube mo. Kaya dapat, alamin mo rito, itanong mo sa air traffic, okay, sabihin ng air traffic na meron kang outburst, no? There is an outburst wind on your heading, no? Para malaman mo ma-cautious ka. Okay? If gagamitin mo yung instrument, no? Pero ngayon, as I've said, GPS. Ito yung nakikita mo sa monitor, yung eroplano mo, yan, lumilipad. Nakikita mo yung true airspeed niya based on satellite estimates, no? Nakikita dito satellites. Okay. Pero kung wala yung satellites, dito ka lilipad, ang bagal mo na, okay, ang bagal mo, palanding kayo. Bigla kang tinamaan outburst, bumilis yung airspeed indicator mo. So, all you have to do, bawasan mo ngayon. Pag binawasan mo ngayon, so bababa, tama na ngayon mo eh. Lalaglag ka ngayon, mag-stall ka because of the loss of speed. Diba? Now, what happened kung itinula ka ngayon? So, nasa likod ka ngayon. So, pag tulak sa iyo ngayon, what will happen? Okay? Sa tela, so baliktad yan. So, since this is the tail, mabilis ngayon yung real airspeed mo. Pero, yung sa indicated airspeed mo, mababa lang. Okay, bababa lang. Okay. So, ang bilis mo na nga rito eh. Then, of course, Sa instrument mo, mababa. Bakit? Kasi nakatalikod yung pitot tube mo. Yan, nakatalikod eh. So, ibig sabihin, yung dumaraan na yan, mababa, normal lang, pero may push ka sa likod. Yan, oh. May tula ka. So, ibig sabihin, mababa ka rito, pero yung real airspeed mo, mabilis. Okay? And dito ngayon, yung problema rito, baka lumampas ka sa take-off speed mo or whatsoever. Lalabas ka ng flight envelope mo. Okay? So, that is the result of the outburst. Okay? So, this is only for the movement of air. Okay? So, dito, na-discuss ko na kung bakit nag-increase at saka bakit nag-drop. It is because of the direction of the wind. Okay? Kasi ito, pressure depress yung kinokopya niya rito. Pag malakas dito, natural, mataas yung airspeed indicator mo. Although the actual speed of the aircraft is very low. So, sobrang bilis, lalampas ka sa runway, so babagalan mo, lalo kang hindi umabot. Kasi talagang mabagal ka eh. Bilis ka lang kasi malakas yung hangin. So, but actually, we have corrected airspeed, di ba? So, ito na sa maliliit na aeroplano. That's the experience. Then, we have here the movement of the air if in case na there is of course, clouds. No? There is a clouds formation. It's basically kapag madilim yung itim yung clouds, no? So, the itim na clouds, kapag may itim yung clouds, there is a possibility na hindi siya papasok yung hangin, dito siya maglalaro sa labas, okay? Diyan siya magbabounce, no? Yan tinatawag natin na mechanical, no? Kasi yung iba kasi mechanical wind, no? Sa mga surface ng mountains, no? Ito pwede rin kasi the clouds will also develop a monitor or the mechanical movement of the air, and it will make gulo, no? Magugulo niya yung flow of air, and yan ang gust. Okay, there is now a gustiness, okay, for the aircraft. So the gustiness, of course, this one magro-rotate, pupunta rito. Pag ikaw narito, so what will happen na ipupush ka pataas. Okay, so that is turbulence. Ipupush ka. Okay. So, yan. Siyempre, hindi yan i-report. Makikita mo naman sa radar eh kung madilim yung area. So, usually pagka madilim yan, then dito yung aircraft. So, usually, lumilipat yan. Okay? Dito siya dumaraan. Pero kung ito, malaking aeroplano, nilulusutan lang yan. Nilulusutan to save time at saka para makarating na ano. Now, ito pagpasok, sasabihin ka agad dito na fasten your seatbelt kasi siyempre alam yan. Kung papasok ka rin, okay, hindi ka iikot doon. So, magbibigay ng instruction na seatbelt, fasten seatbelt. Okay, kasi tatagtagin ka sa loob. Yung term, tatagtag ka rin. Okay. So, this is the microburst. Okay. So, pitch down siya. Okay. So, pag tinamaan, so what will happen, the tail section will move up and the nose will move down. So, descending flight path. Okay. Then, of course, the other one, ito naman. Okay. So, ito yung another instruction. Tinamaan ka rito. So, what will happen? Ito siya. Tinamaan, umakyat yung buntot, tumaas dito. Okay? So, this is already, this is one time. One example na relative naman sa glide path. Okay? So, iko-corrupt niya yung glide path mo because it will push the tail upward and push the nose downward. Okay? So, dalawa siya. It's either it will affect the instrument or it will affect the position of or the longitudinal of the airplane. Masyadong critical to kasi ang baba na ng altitude mo yan. Ang baba na. Assuming na malapit ka na, ang baba niyan. Kunyari, nasa 500 feet ka na lang. tapos tinamaan ka ng ganyan. Malaking problema yan. Okay? So, kaya yung iba, ginagawa, kapag bad weather, binibigay yan sa autopilot. Nag-autopilot siya. So, pagka-autopilot, may mga sensor yung aircraft eh. Pagka bumilis siya, nire-reduce niya agad or what, no? Nakita, mabilis, pero actually hindi. So, i-maintain niya yan. Kasi alam niya yung environment eh. Okay, pagka nag-nose down siya, i-correct niya kagad. Pag nag-nose up siya, i-correct niya kagad. Okay? Pero kung ikaw yung piloto, syempre, hindi mo basta-basta, especially kung kukunti na lang yung time, hindi mo masyadong masusundan yung ano. Pero ito, kada change of position niya, kinokorek kagad ng computer yan. So, laking bagay, di ba? Sa racket, ganun rin. Siyempre, but I'm familiar with the racket. But of course, the racket also implies, no? It also applies, no? This controllability and maneuverability for the vehicle. Okay? So, we have, if there is ice formation, no? So, ito, there is a possibility na baguhin niya yung lip. Okay, this is the lip. Ito yung clear. Okay, nag-produce ka pa ng mataas na coefficient of lift. Alam naman natin coefficient of lift, no? It dictates the lift of the aircraft. Kapag meron kang frost, okay, nag-frost na siya rito. Anong frost? Yung frost, yung nagkakaroon na ng build-up, no? Pagka nagkaroon na ng ice, what will happen? The coefficient of lift will become lower. So, dapat clean. Ito yung clean. Okay? Now, bakit? Bakit bababa siya? Bakit bababa? Because the wing will also add weights. Kasi pagka may build-up na ice, bibigat yung pakpak. Okay? And one more, mababago niya yung aerodynamic forces dito sa loob sa labas ng wing. Ma-alter niya. Kasi hindi na siya nawala na yung figure, no? Nawala yung figure. Nawala na figure ng wing kasi meron siyang build up ng ice. Okay? So, methanol ang inaano riyan. Okay, katulad niya, kung yung portion na pupunta mo sa globe, no? Malamig. And of course, nag-a-ice siya. Okay? Mahal rin yung pamasahe pupunta riyan. Okay? Kaya pagka December, pupunta ka ng US, no? O kaya then there is nag-a-ice na siya. Okay, so what will happen is that ito. Hindi ko makakalus sa labas. Okay. So, mahal rin yung pasahe. Okay. Yung fare, mahal. Okay. Una-una kasi peak season, saka may ice, nagwi-winter na, so ibig sabihin, there is a possibility na sa tarmac, no, bago tumake-off yung aircraft, marami ng build-up ng ice dito. Hindi siya pwede tumakbo kasi mabigat siya. Okay? At saka yung flow, mababago. Yung flow ng air. Okay? So, bago ito make up, binobombahan niya ng fire truck. May fire truck ang bobombahan niya, yung surface. No? Yung ibobomba riyan is methanol. Bobomba ng methanol yan para matanggal yung ice. So, pag nag-provide sila ng ganun, siyempre another bayad yun. And that bayad will not be shouldered by the airline. It will be divided among the passenger. So, yun. No? So, marami. No? Then, of course, this is turbulence. Okay? Vortex. No? Vortex. Okay? So, this is just an addition. No? The bigger the airplane, the bigger the vortex. No? Or this is vortices. Okay? So, I think this is discussed already. So, this is heavy transport. Okay? So, this is uh, landing. No? Yung B natin is landing clearance to avoid wake turbulence. The other one is take off. Okay. So ito yung aeroplano. So you should be much higher than this one. No? Tingnan mo, drop 400 to 500 feet per minute. So ang bilis, di ba? So ito, usually this is the position, no? So kaya mahalaga yung especially pag mababa na meron kang, titingnan mo dapat palagi yung wind suck. Yung kulay orange na Kasi pag nasa taas ka, makikita mo yung wind suck eh. So by that, kahit wala kang, kasi unang-una hindi mo alam kung saan galing yung hangin, di ba? Kung gaano kalakas, di ba? So all you have to do is to get marker. Makita mo yung windsack, umiikot ka doon, tumuturo doon. So pagka tumuturo rin, ito galing hangin, di ba? Pag yan, tayo na gano'n, nakagasin yan. Tapos, sinangin na dito, umakit yan, gumanon, mahirap yan. Kasi malakas yung hangin yan. No? So, sa flight training nga, pagka umabot ng 8 knots yung hangin, wala na. Stop na yung operation, hindi na pwedeng tumake off. Medyo, sa maliit na airplane, malakas na yun. No? Pero maliit pa lang yan sa bigger aircraft. Okay? So this is now the possible stall hitting the horizontal tail. Okay? So bakit siya mag-stall? Kasi may downwash. Yung downwash ngayon, ito yan, downwash. So what will happen now is that ineffective na yung horizontal tail mo kasi tinatamaan siya ng hangin coming from the wing. No? Kung tumatama sa kanya is turbulence, so pagka kinontrol mo siya using the control surfaces tail section, hindi siya effective. Mabagal, I mean. No? It will affect, no? Pero mabagal. It's just, parang hindi normal. Then, of course, we have a swept wing stall at tip first. Ito ngayon, di ba, sabi ko, ganito yan. At higher angle, okay, ito yung higher angle. Ito yung flow. Okay, flow. What will happen? Meron yan separation dito and ito ngayon, bababa yan kasi because of viscosity, di ba? Yung air viscosity yan. Babalik at babalik yan sa surface. So, pag ano yan, babalik yan. Okay. So, magkakaroon rito ng turbulence. Pag nag-turbulence na to, this will low slip. Maglo-low slip yan and the wing itself will drop. Lalaglag yung wing. And this is what you call stall. Now, we talk about a right angle aircraft, no, wing. So ito yung wing natin. Okay. Hindi ko na nilagyan ng drawing ko. Now, hindi yan naka-swept back. Okay? Hindi siya naka-swept back. So, what happened is that kapag hindi siya naka-swept back, naka-rectangular siya, naka-perpendicular siya sa hangin, this is the hangin. Okay? And we know that the airplane wing will of course experience this stall because there is what you call the turbulence. Okay? Tanong, saan magsisimula siya ng turbulence? Ito yan. Pagka nagkaroon siya ng turbulence, dito magsisimula yung turbulence sa fuselage. Diyan magsisimula yung turbulence. Okay? Papunta sa tip. Pag naka-swept back, ito siya. Pag naka-swept back, dalawa lang kasi yan yung naka-perpendicular sa naka-thrust, no? So ito, this is airspeed dito, mabilis. Airspeed dito. Ito minimum lang kasi lang to eh. Usually yung gumagamit nito is propeller lang. Okay? Ito jet. So greater speed, magkakaroon niya ng turbulence. So it will also produce stall. But the stall will happen first on the tip. Okay, tandaan niya. Pagka naka-swept back, yung stall because of turbulence. Pero saan siya na magsisimula mag-turbulence? Sa tip muna. Sa tip muna siya magto-turbulence, papunta rin sa loob. Okay? Kaya pinalit niya rin. Ang haba nito eh. Kaya pinalit niya yung ano rito, yung area. Okay? Ito malapad. So kasi pag nag-turbulence siya rito, mag-stall siya, buuin niya muna hanggang doon yan para mag-stall yung buong aircraft. Okay? Pero take note, kaya may swept back tayo to produce the stall coming from the wing tip. Ito, the stall will coming from the fuselage. Okay? The root cord. Okay? So yun, dalawa lang naman, wala nang iba yan. Okay? Wala na. Okay? So, that is the last. Okay? Malulobat tayo. Okay, then afterwards, we will have this. Okay, but first, siyempre, we have to take a break. Okay, take a break muna tayo. So, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Ano na eh, Christmas break na eh, no? Kayo, ano pa kayo, next week pa. Okay, so this will be the final lecture, okay, for the SEM. So, can you see the slide now?
Yes po.
Okay, so let's have here the continuation. So, this is the flow of the subsonic wing. Okay? Then this is the design of a supersonic wing. No? So makikita nyo rito, as I've said, we have the shock formation. Okay? Saan ba yan? Ito. So there is a possibility na magkaroon siya ng wave dito. Okay? Ay, wave, no? Yan. And that wave is of course be produced, no, because of the compression. Yan kasi marami yan. Okay, ito yan, no? Ito yung layer of air. Okay? Then of course, dito ka. Pag tama mo riyan, this will be compressed as a one, no? And that is what you call a normal shock wave. Shock wave. But of course, dito sa portion nito, mataas yung pressure. Dito, mababa na kasi palayo na siya. And what will happen? This will bend. Magbe-bend yan. Okay? But that is a normal shock wave. Magbe-bend yan. Okay? So, ito yan. So, nag-bend, no? Then, of course, it will pass through the surface. And, of course, it will somewhat destabilize the aircraft, no? Especially if this is the type of wing na gagamitin mo. Because for supersonic flight, you should have this diamond shape. No? Dalawa yan, convex at saka diamond shape. So, as you can see, tatakbo ngayon yung shockwave rito, and this shockwave will become strong, and this is what we call oblique shockwave. Oblique. Okay? Then, of course, this one, ito, single lang to, compress lang to. Compress siya. Single, single, no? So, pagka dito niya, pag-abot niya rito, single pa rin siya, pero nagkaroon siya ng downstream. So, pagka downstream siya, what will happen? From this point, bumababa na yung pressure. Pag bumababa yung pressure, what will happen? Magbe-break yung air, compressed air, then lalabas siya. And that is what you call expansion shock wave. Expansion shock wave. Okay? And this is what you call expansion fan. Actually, fan yung tawag rin. Expansion fan. Shock wave fan. Okay? Instantaneous yan, mangyayari dito sa portion na to. Ito, hindi yan basta-basta ihiwa-hiwalay lang yan, malayo na. Okay, ito, pag separate niya rito sa surface, so ibig sabihin, ito ang taas ng pressure dito. Diyan mismo sa pinagkukumpulan niya, no? Then, at the back, medyo bumababa na siya until sa time na maghiwa-hiwalay. Okay? Then, makita mo rito, paglabas niya rito, this is now your another oblique shock wave. So, ibig sabihin, from normal shock wave, you increase your velocity, what will happen? The shock wave will move to the back. Okay? And it will be, since you are downstream, so bababa yan rito, so mag-expand yan, then another, we have here the oblique shock wave. Okay? So I think you will have a supersonic aerodynamics. No? So i-discussin nyo to. Everything, no? So magmula rito, magmula riyan, hanggang dyan. Tapos kukunin nyo yung lift nito, buong okay lang sana kung ako magturo. Alam ko na yung continuation yan. Okay, so yan. Then let's go back now with subsonic wing. Subsonic, so mass is equivalent to Mach, no, is equivalent to velocity over speed of sound. So alam niya na yung speed of sound sa velocity ba. And yung Mach number, wala siyang units, no. Okay. Then for Mach 0.72, that is critical Mach. So we will have now the maximum local velocity equals to sonic. So ibig sabihin sa Mach 0.72 ng aircraft, sa pakpak umaabot na siya sa sonic speed. Okay, kasi mas mabilis yung flow sa wing kaysa movement, lipad ng eroplano. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung critical Mach number mo, ito yung binibigay ng eroplano, ito siya, yung movement ng air dito, mas mabilis. Okay? So, that is approaching sonic. No? Now, for a bigger airplane, no, commercial airplane, maximum speed niya is 0.85. So, ang bilis, di ba? Konti na lang, 15 na lang, 0.15 na lang, critical Mach number na siya. Yung critical Mach number kasi, MCRIT, kahit saan ka pumunta, ito yung MCRIT, no? Critical Mach number is equivalent to 1.0. Tandaan niya. Bakit? Kasi this is where unity will happen. No? Ibig sabihin, the unity is the velocity is the same as the local speed of sound. So, kaya siya magiging 1. So, sa aircraft na commercial, 0.85 siya. So, that's why kinukuha niya kagad yung high altitude para ma-meet niya yung Mach number. Okay, 0.85. Now, ibig sabihin, at this point in time, may shockwave formation na hindi natin pwedeng ipagkaila na kung commercial airplane yan at a given altitude na bumili siya sa 0.85, umabot na siya ng 0.8, meron ng build-up na shockwave sa harap ng aircraft. Okay? Then, bakit bibilis? Bakit siya umabot ng 0.85? High altitude. Una-una, the temperature is low, di ba? And of course, the speed of sound is low. So what will happen? Whatever will be the airspeed of the aircraft divided by the lower local speed of sound, so tataas talaga yung Mach number mo. Natural, di ba? Natural. Yung velocity kasi is being dictated by the engine. Okay? By power. Okay? Power yung nag-ano niyan. Diba? So, ito, atmosphere. ATM. Then, we all know that at an altitude, the speed of sound is decreasing. And if it happens na maintain mo yung power mo until such time na mag-produce na ng higher velocity, your Mach number will also increase. Okay? So, 0.85. So, kaya yung airline, yung commercial, aakyat niya kagad ng mataas para makuha niya yung 0.85 niya. So, any other, no? 777, Airbus 320, 747, okay? 350, yan yung maximum speed, 0.85. So, hindi siya pwedeng lumipad ng 1.0 kasi magkakaroon na ng vibration yung aircraft because, pagka 1.0 yan, yung airspeed mo, naroon mismo yung speed of sound. So, nasa surface ng aeroplano ngayon, yung mga shockwave. So, pagka nangyari yon, yung experience nila is that the whole airplane will vibrate. Magbabibrate siya. So, either you push it forward or you reduce your speed, no? So, yun. So, this is at Mach 0.77, no? Ang task nga ng 0.85 kasi, 0.85, no? So, yeah. So, subsonic, we have the normal shockwave, okay? Then, of course, possible separation after, no? Then, ito, we have a supercritical wing, okay? So, this is a supercritical and we have the laminar flow. Ibig sabihin, yung laminar flow, yung dapa lang siya rito sa surface. Dapa lang sa surface, okay? So, 0.75 yan. Usapang mabilis na to. Then, of course, we have lift coefficient. Ito ngayon yung straight natin. So, straight na aircraft, ito yung sweep. Swept back. Okay, ito yung straight. Siyempre, kanina, na yan. Ito yung straight. Okay. Straight wing. Okay. Then, we have swept back. Okay? So, this is a straight wing. Sa straight wing, this is now your coefficient of lift. Okay? And lift is a function of coefficient of lift. The higher the coefficient of lift, the higher the lift, right? Kapag yung aircraft mo ganito, siyempre, mababa yung coefficient of lift mo, mababa yung lift mo, di ba? Pero, lift is a function of velocity. Lift is a function of velocity. So, if you increase the velocity, the lift will increase. So, ito, jet yan. Jet. So, what happen? Lagyan mo ngayon ng malakas na makina, then it will push the aircraft. So, you will have a greater velocity. So, you will increase your lift. Okay? Kasi, kung sasabay ka sa mabagal ng velocity, lalaglag tong swept back mo kasi ito mas mabilis makakuha to kasi perpendicular perpendicular siya, di ba? Na-discuss ko na yan pagka tumama yung hangin riyan, mas mas guarantee to na mag-produce ng lift at the same speed. Pag ito sinwept back mo, lalaglag yan kasi it will not produce anything, no? Kaya nga gumawa kami ng drone ganito yung ginawang pakpak Sabi ko hindi talaga akit yan kasi naka-deflect dapat yan i-forward nyo rito, i-ganon nyo. Okay, para pag tama ng hangin, produce kagad ng lift yan, di ba? Kung minsan ayaw makinig So nung dinemonstrate na nila, wala talaga. Ayaw umakyat ng eroplano. Kasi ito nga kaya yung advice ko ron, palitan nyo ng jet engine niya. Palitan ng jet engine. Bili kayo sa Lazada. Okay? So ayaw makinig Sabi ko, ito yan sabi ko. So usually mga drone, di ba, puro diretso ganyan. Puro diretso. Okay? Especially those being powered by propeller. Okay? So propeller lang. Pagka jet, pwede yan. Okay? Pero usapang propeller lang So you don't need to adopt this type of wing. Okay? So, yan. Yan yung configuration. Dito lang tayo sa CL versus angle of attack. So, this is different angle of attack. Okay? So, what happen now if you are So, magkakaroon ng turbulence ngayon. Paano mo yung tatanggalin yung turbulence na to? Lalagyan mo ngayon ng vortex generator. Yan. Now, if you are riding a airplane, tignan mo sa wing, may mga nakatinding na plate. Nakatinding na plate. Yan. May mga nakatinding na plate. Yan. Actually, iba-iba yung orientation nito Iba-iba yung orientation. Okay? So, may nakatabingi ganyan, may mga nakadiretsyong ganito. Okay? Ano pa ba? Meron nakaganon. Ay, hindi. Nakaganon. Then, dito, meron na naman. Meron diretso. So, yan. So, ito, in-emphasize lang. In-emphasize. So, tatama yung hangin dito. And of course, there will be a turbulence. Magto-turbulence siya. So, what will happen now is pag tama ng hangin dito, bibilis yan, tatalbog dito, then gaganon. Okay. So, pag ito bumilis, velocity increases. Yung approaching velocity increases. What happen? If there is a turbulence like this will be pushed. Ipupush niya and the turbulence will, this portion, dito siya magto-turbulence sa likod. Okay. May pupush niyan, yung mga turbulence niyan. Kaya pag sumikay ka ng aeroplano, tignan mo sa pakpak, may mga plate na nakatindig. Okay? Parang yung pyesa ng Games of the General, pero naka-screw yan. Okay, kasi pag ganito, tinamaan siya rito, so bibilis siya. Pag bilis niya, dito naman, sasaluhin siya, bibilis siya papunta roon. And palikuli-ko gano'n. May nakita nga ako kotse, nilagyan ng ganyan. Siguro aviation yun. Nilagyan ng plate. Pati pa rin kumpare ko, nilagyan niya Innova. Kaya may mga plate, no? Eh, kaso hindi naman hindi naman tatakbo ng supersonic yun, di ba? So, ang nilagay lang ng Borlolo, di ba? Pag ganun gano'n. No? So, that is vortex generator. So, meron pa pala, iba may butas. Ito, sobra na ito. May butas ganyan. May mga butas ganyan. Then, sinasak niya ito. Turbulence niya. Sinasak niya sa loob. Hinihigop niya. Then, itinatapon niya sa somewhere. Okay, so para lang dumapa yung ano. This is of course to reduce the effect of the turbulence. No? Then, we have here the divergence effect. Okay. So, tingnan nyo na rin yung Mach number at saka drag coefficient. Interpreted naman na eh. Then, this is your force, no? So, we have a lift coefficient. Of course, the lift coefficient is a function of the lift, diba? The bigger the CL, the bigger the lift. Okay, this okay, 0.8. Ito kita nyo, hindi umabot ng 1.0 kasi critical yung Mach 1.0 eh. So, ang baba lang, 0.82. Commercial airfield na 0.85 ba? So, yan. We have now aerodynamic center location, C. Okay. Then, this is your normal shock wave. So, this is the normal shock wave. But, of course, dito lang sa harap yan. Okay. So, this is 0.95. See? 0.95 na yan. Oh. What will you expect pag nag-1.0? Ito ngayon, ito. Tatakbo na to rito sa gitna. Yan. So, most probably, ito yung wing. Ito na yung shockwave. Okay. Nariyan na siya. Okay, so 0.95 na yan. Konting tulak na lang yan. Tatakbo na yung shockwave niya. Okay. So, 1.05. Mach number 1.05. So, makikita mo, nagkaroon na siya rito ng shockwave formation. Pumasok na siya rito. Meron pa rin siya rin, siyempre, no? Pero tumakbo na siya rito, naging oblique na nga yan, no? So, meron na siya rito, tumakbo yan, umandar pa rin, umandar pa roon. Then, ito, naging oblique na siya rito sa trailing edge. Okay? So, yan. So, ibig sabihin, nag 1.0 siya, sobra na 1.05. We have bow wave. Diretso pa rin, may bow wave pa rin yan, no? But, of course, the inside of the wing, meron na siyang all shockwave na yan. Ito, nag-oblique shockwave mga OSW yan. Then, ito yan. So, kapag oblique shockwave, what will happen? May upstream ka rito. Ito na yung wave angle. Okay? So, dito, meron kang B1, pressure, temperature, and density. So, meron ka rito velocity, pressure, temperature, and density. So, what will happen? Ito yung indicator natin. So, the B1, itong B1 na to is greater than B2 because of the compression. So, kapag upstream, babagal yung velocity. So, dito, okay, we have less than, no? B1 is greater than B2. Okay, so, ibig sabihin, itong velocity niya rito, velocity ng hangin dito, mabagal. Yung pressure 1 is less than pressure 2. So, yung pressure 2 rito, high. Okay. So, the velocity here is less. The pressure here is high. The temperature is, of course, high. And the temperature, the density is high. Okay. So, dito sa likod, pag nagkaroon siya ng oblique shockwave, yung velocity bumabagal. Ito. Yung pressure niya tumataas. Siyempre may compression. Temperature niya tumataas kasi may compression. And density is greater than. So that is for a supersonic flow. Okay? So bumagal. So ibig sabihin, pag aakyat nito, aakyat to rito, mabagal. Okay? Mabagal yan. But the pressure, density, and temperature increases. Okay? Now, ito ngayon, tatakbo to rito. Aakyat siya. Okay, aakyat siya riyan. Okay, sabay isa. Then, bumaba siya. So, pag aakyat na riyan, ito na siya. Now, ganito. Ito yung pag-calculate niya na. Ito, Ito ngayon yan. Okay. Now, yung projection dito, itong portion na to, diretso na yan. Diretso na yan. Okay? So, ito ngayon yung flow natin. Siyempre, hindi mo siya i-retain. Ito yung flow natin eh. Itong flow na to, ito yan. Yung surface na to, pinatag na natin. Ito yung surface. Yan, yung surface. Yan yung surface. So, sa surface na yan, kinuha natin na surface, ito, yung reference na yan. Yan. Okay? So, tapos na tayo rito sa X na to eh. So, gumapang na siya dito sa panibago, X1. Gawin natin X1. So, dito sa X1, dito na siya gumapang. So, if you can visualize, ito na yung X1 natin ngayon. So, pinatag natin. Kasi alam na natin yung mangyayari rin eh. So, X1. Okay? So, patag na siya. Then, ito ngayon yung X1 natin. Okay? Then, of course, we have here, pag ganun, is your X2. So, X2 ngayon, kung pinatag mo yan, tapos po ba siya, assuming na ganito yan isura ng airfoil natin. Diamond shape. Ayan, exaggerated na yan. So, dito ka dumaan, then dito ka dumaan. So, ibig sabihin ito, meron kang expansion, meron ka ritong oblique, meron ka ritong oblique. Okay? So, ito na yan. So, magkakaroon ka rito, pag abot rito, e-expand yung this is expansion wave or what you call expansion fan. So, the velocity will become greater. Okay? The pressure will become lesser. Temperature, lesser. And density, lesser. So, ang bilis ng velocity. So, ibig sabihin, yung downstream mo, pagpasok niya rito, yung velocity mo will be your velocity here, which is less than, yan, less than yan, kaysa dito. Then, dito naman, pagkadating niya rito, tatawid siya rito sa expansion, bibilis siya. Okay? Bibilis. Then, the pressure goes down, the temperature goes down, and the density goes down. Until such time na dito siya, until such time na tumama na naman siya rito sa velocity na to. Okay? Tatawid siya rin sa oblique. Oblique rin to oblique shockwave. Okay? So these are the different shockwave that will be present on a supersonic flight. No? Then how are you going to use the shockwave? No? So you will use the shockwave in calculating the different parameters. No? Of the airfoil. And doon mo makukuha mo ngayon yung performance ng aircraft. Okay? So, ibig sabihin hindi ito lumilipad. Take note Itong aeroplano hindi usapang lumilipad na mabagal. Mach number is greater than 1 yan. Kasi, sangkaterbang shockwave formation yan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi ka magpuproduce ng ganito kung mabagal yung aeroplano natin. Okay? Pero ito nangyayari ito sa wing. Okay, so ito yung wing natin, which is diamond shape. Okay, so this is downstream. Ito upstream, level, upstream, downstream. Okay. So dito ang taas na Mach number dito kung sa surface mo titignan. So ito yung mga so pinurol ko na siya, supersonic wave characteristic summary. So we have flow direction, effect on velocity, effect on static pressure and density, effect on energy of total pressure, energy. Then we have effect on temperature. So yun. So summary to. Okay. Okay. Then this is now your oblique shockwave. So dalawa yan. Now, sample, ganito yan, level lang yan. Paano kung ganito? Well, ito yung pa-exam. Oh. Let's say ganito. So, pagpasok ng hangin dito, so meron ka ritong angle. Okay? This is your angle of climb or angle of attack. Okay? So, pag tama niya riyan, hindi yan na oblique shockwave. Expansion na kagad yan. Kasi pababa, ito siya, nakalubog, di ba? So, susunod dito is expansion. Kasi kung dito niya tumakbo, pababa na naman to, di ba? Pababa. So, may corner rito, expansion yan. Then, of course, ito, oblique. Si dito, siyempre, pag tama rito, oblique yan. Okay? Kasi nakaakyat, di ba? Nakaakyat. Nakaganon, no? Nakaganon. Pagdaan niya rito, pumunta siya rito, downward na naman to. Downstream. Then after dito, ito na yan. Okay. So this will be the description of the aircraft once na of the wing, no? Once na nag-angle of attack siya. Okay. So dito expansion, okay, oblique, dito oblique, expansion. Now if you will get the velocity, so you can interpret kung anong mangyari. But sa tingin ko kaka-climb yan. Mabilis yung climb dito kasi mabilis yung based on the shockwave formation, ibig sabihin mabilis siya, so yung changes ng velocity. And velocity, siyempre, Mach number, makukuha mo Mach number at the surface. Pag alam mo yung velocity at the surface, alam mo na yung Mach number at the surface. So, yan. So, ito, laban ng zero lang to. Zero angle of attack. Pero kapag ganito na, naka-incline na siya, so may angle of attack, medyo mababago na yan. Ito mababago. Ito, iyan. Then you will make comparison on what will happen, but I told you, itong aircraft na to will not stall. Actually, it will still stall, pero because of the controllability, ito yan Pag-akit niyan, di ba? Pag-akit niyan, 6th generation na fighter airplane. Pag take off niya ganyan, akit siya, mag-stall yan yan Pero gagawin yan, halos nakahinto siya, gaganon yung aircraft. Yung malupit, di ba? Kasi usually, pagka gumano yung aircraft noon, yung pag gumanon, nagluloop na siya. Ngayon, pagka gumanon, halos nakahinto, kasi yung exhaust pipe niya, nakaganon, di ba? Nakaganon. So, pag take off niya, naganon. Kapag dito, uminto siya, ito ngayon, babago. Pumipihit. So, tumataas siya ganon. So, maraming no? So, siyempre, kunyari, gusto mo ganun istura, kunin mo sa ibang parts, no? I-modify mo naman yung thrust line mo. Baguhin mo yung thrust line. Kita niyo, ang bilis, di ba? So, dati gano'n lang yan, nagluloop. Ngayon, wala na nagluloop, bihira nagluloop ngayon, Diba sa gera, pagka, bihira nagluloop, gano'n. Ngayon, pagka gano'n, gumagano na yung aircraft. Okay? Kasi kapag mag-install ka, pumipihit yung aircraft ka. Okay, pag mag-install ka, tumatagilid, then lipad na. Ngayon, diretso umaakit yung buntot ka nun, then the same position, nakahinto yung aeroplano, then gano'n. So, maraming modification. So, that is performance. As I've said before, kahit subsonic yan, kahit high speed yan, dalawa lang yung performance, di ba? Maneuverability at controllability. Yun lang. Okay. To assure that there is a performance. No? Ito yung mga natin. Pressure distribution. Okay. Yan, expansion wave. Okay. This is a circular arc or tawag namin ito is biconvex. Biconvex yan. Ito pala, yung dulo nito is sharp edge. Sharp edge yan, yung mga ano yan. So, pagka fighter airplane niya, huwag kang malikot sa harap kasi baka mauntog ka rito, matalas yan. Okay? Sharp edge yan to slice the air. I-slice na lang. Okay? So, these are the difference, no? Sweep angle. So, naka-sweep back siya. Okay, what is the cone, no? Leading edge of straight wing. So, ito yung leading edge of the straight wing. Ito naman yung cone. Sa cone kasi, pagka yung cone, ganito, ito, all the pressure dito, paikot pressure, cone yan is the same. So what will happen? Pagka the same yan, this cone will fly for different, no? This will not produce any lift. It will move neutral to its thrust line. Kaya makita nyo, yung mga fighter airplane, yung dulo niyan, puro ganito. Di ba? Kasi pag lumipad siya, lahat pressure dito paikot, pare-pareha. So, hindi siya gagalaw, di ba? Diretso siya. Gagalaw lang siya kapag binago mo yung angle mo kasi babago yung sa wing, akit yung aircraft. Pero to stabilize, kailangan yung uso niyan, cone type. O kaya medyo bilugan, pero cone pa rin siya. Okay? Kasi pag yan, ginawa mo na mas manipis lang dito, flat dito, at saka dito, pag lumipad yan, aakit yan. Okay? Aakit yan. So ito siya sa front view. Yan, front view. Okay? So cone yan. Okay? Now, ngayon, ito ngayon yung mga cruise missile, di ba? Ito yung mga cruise missile Yan ang mga cruise missile ngayon. Okay? So makikita mo, flat. Kasi this will produce lift. Hindi siya neutral, no? Kaya yung mga cruise missile natin, specifically yung Tomahawk cruise missile, lumilipad siya na malayo kasi nagpo-produce pa siya ng lift yan, no? Pero pag yung aircraft, for stability ng aircraft, no, and maneuverability, kahit yan. Meron kasi pag ganito ginawa mo, binamaneuver mo kung saan umaakyat kasi hindi balance yung cone mo. Okay? So lahat ganito. Pagka high speed, no, puro cone yan. O kaya ganito. But still cone. Cone pa rin. Okay? So yan. Kaya may cone tayo. So yung calculation dito is just simple. Kasi whatever will be the position, pare-parehas yung ibibigay niya. Bibigay niyang value. So, all the pressure is constant around the cone. So, what will happen? Stable siya. Hindi siya magbabago. Hindi siya akyat, hindi siya bababa or what. So, this is now your phugoid, no? Longitudinal dynamic bearing. So, assuming na swept back, no? So, there is a tendency na pagka-phugoid, ito siya pipihit, then magro-roll. Alam na natin, di ba? So, phugoid siya, pagka tinamaan, what will happen? Nakaganon. So, it will move up. Down, then it will move up. Okay, so that is phugoid. So, may kita nyo, hindi lang side view, kundi front, top view, meron tayong Mach wave. Okay. Ito Mach wave na solid to kasi pag yung aircraft at high speed, ito yung water, lumipad sa rito, makikita mo yung tubig lumulubog, no? So ibig sabihin solid yung compressed air dito na bumabangga sa water, no? Kung bisa nga gumuguhit sa ganun di ba? Talsik yung water ganun pagdaan. Tingnan nyo. Makikita mo sa liquid, no? Pero siyempre kung titignan mo yan, ang daming aktibitate sa surface ng aircraft. Okay, trailing edge. Okay, trailing edge is one. But of course, meron siyang elevator, pero ngayon buong ito, nilagyan lang ng elevator. Pero kung makikita nyo ngayon, yung F-16, F-15, F-35, buong horizontal, gumagalaw. Buong buntot, gumagalaw, di ba? Gumagalaw. Okay, gumagalaw siya. May rudder, pero gumagalaw yung parang whale. Okay. Yan pala. All movable. Okay. So, supersonic control surface. No? Para mabilis siya mag-react. Okay. Mabilis siya mag-react. So, para siyang pumaypay, di ba? Yung elevator. Pagka tines, bago mag-take off. Then, of course, this will produce also sa engine, magpo-produce ito normal shockwave. So, pagka normal shockwave to, pag bumara rito yung compressor, what will happen? Yung susunod na hangin dito, mag-overflow yan. Overflow. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kung ito yung compressor mo, medyo limited yung i-compress niya kasi tatawid na hangin dito, siyempre, small lang. Okay? Small lang siya. So, small, di ba? So, ito siya usually. So, kung minsan, ino-offset yan, dito, nakaganyan yung engine. Ganyan. Okay? Para hindi siya babara, kundi magkakaroon siya ng shockwave formation rito. Ito yung wave natin. Kasi problema rito pag tumayo yung shockwave. Pag tumayo yung shockwave, problema, machochok yung aircraft mo, yung incoming air will not just pass through, no? Barado yan. I mean, hindi barado, pero it will be deflected. It will not just pass through. So, nilagyan nila ng ito. Nilagyan nila ng spike. Spike. Yan, nilagyan ng spike para may normal shockwave ka pero may oblique shockwave sa ibabaw. So pagka meron kang oblique shockwave sa ibabaw, this normal shockwave will be pushed down there. And of course, alam nyo, dito sa loob ng inlet na to, hindi naman yan patag. Meron niya dito ganyan-ganyan. May ganyan-ganyan yan. May hump yan. Oh. So, pag takbo niyan dito, pumunta yan dito, magkakaroon oblique shockwave yan. Okay? So, yeah. So, that is a spike. Sa SR-71, yung spike na to nagbabago. Gumagalaw. Gumagalaw yung spike niya. Yung sa engine, gumagalaw yung spike. Okay? So, we have the stagnation temperature. So, yan. Mach 2, Mach 3, Mach 4. Ang taas na niya. Then, of course, we have effect of temperature on tensile strength of metal after 1 half hour exposure. So, ito ngayon yung percent of temperature strength, no? So, ito yung stainless, mataas. We have titanium and we have the aluminum. That is why we are using aluminum, right? Ito yung comparison, no? So, this is just, nilagay ko, this is just a additional kasi the structure also affect the performance of the aircraft. So ito, aluminum outside yan. Yung titanium ginagamit natin katulad sa SR-71, di ba? Specific portion. And of course, we have also stainless. So yan. So dito tayo palagi. Aluminum alloy. Okay? Bababa lang. Okay? Oh, tapos na. Okay, so that's it. Buti naman. Okay, so 9:30 na kasi. So, I have to prepare. Kasi baka maaga dumating yun. Kaya naman. Okay. So, that's it, no? So, you can open, you can have a 1/2